Imagine how I'm gonna be when camp starts.
Welcome fight fans to my channel. This is Johnny, and today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning the amount of world champions that Terrence "Bud" Crawford has defeated en route to his career 40-0 record. Guys, his fans adore him. Boxing pundits know the greatness that Terrence Crawford has fought his entire career with. But I wanted to make this video to educate maybe the newer boxing fans or maybe some of even his detractors about how great Terrence "Bud" Crawford is throughout the entirety of his career. When you think about Bud Crawford, one word comes to mind for me in terms of stability, and that's consistency. How he goes about his business. All the athlete does is win, and he wins in brutal fashion. So today I want to go over the first world champion that he fought from that perimeter up until August 3rd against Israel Madrimov. And guys, we know with Madrimov, the title will be on the line. Crawford is moving up from 147 to 154 to challenge Madrimov's WBA title. With that victory, Crawford would move to 41-0. Madrimov would also be his 11th world champion that he has defeated. So today we're going to go over 1 through 10, talk about what Bud was at, where he was with his career, and I'm going to give you guys some statistics that you might not have known about en route to his 40-0 record. Before we get into this, I want to talk about where Bud was when he first fought for his first world title. That was against a fighter in the UK named Ricky Burns, a Scottish legend, a 3-time world champion in multiple divisions. In Bud's 23rd fight, he finally had an opportunity and a crack to measure where he was in his career. And when he fought Burns, that was Crawford's first ever title against a world champion, en route to defeating 9 others. And here's that list. After defeating Burns, he then fought Yuriorkis Gamboa, who was 23-0 and the WBA and IBF champion. He then fought Raymond Beltran, who was 29-6. Beltran was a WBO champion. Victor Postal, 28-0, WBC champion. Julius Ndongo, 22-0, WBA and IBF champion. Jeff Horn, 18-0, WBO champion. Amir Khan, 33-4, WBA and IBF champion. Kell Brook, 39-2, IBF champion. Sean Porter, 31-3, IBF and WBC champion. Errol Spence Jr., 28-0, WBA, WBC, and IBF champion. Guys, those records that I read out to you were the records that Bud Crawford's opponents had going into his fight. And some of those champions of the 10 were already world champions when they fought Bud, and some became champions afterwards. This goes to show you, not all is lost if you lose a world title fight. Sometimes that becomes the end of your career, and sometimes you take lessons from that fight and you get better. And some of Crawford's opponents did just that. So when we think about the total 40 fights of Crawford, he's fought 25% of those fights, 10 out of 40, against world champions. Another interesting stat is since his first world title fight and his 23rd fight against Ricky Burns, every fight after that, he fought 18 more times since Burns. 10 out of those 18 were against world champions at a 55% rate, meaning since the Burns fight, every other fight for Bud was against a world champion. Going into his fight August 3rd, if he's victorious, that'll be Bud Crawford's 11th win against a world champion. Hopefully you learned something in this video. When somebody asks about Crawford's resume, how many world champions he's beaten, just tell them this. Tell them the number 10.